just like that, folks, we are here with James Rispoli. I am Sam Schneider. I am Badbeard, and this is the Badbeard Podcast. And we are out here at Road Atlanta, Moto America, for race number 1, stop number 3. And you're James Rispoli.
Hello.
Who are you, dude?
I'm James Rispoli. I race the King of the Baggers. I've raced for 26 years consecutively. I've raced dirt track, road racing, lived in Europe, done a lot of cool stuff, and I'm 32, so I still got a lot of life to live.
Hell yeah, brother. Well, so you've raced for a long time. You've been in different series. You've been in different classes, and now you found yourself on a bagger. What has been that experience?
Yeah, the experience has been pretty immense, dude. Like, when they first came onto the scene, I was actually one of the guys that was like, man, I don't think that's going to stick.
Because you were on a super bike at the time?
At the time, I was racing dirt track, actually.
Okay.
And American flat track on a Harley. So I was on the XG 750, racing in the American flat track series. And when it first came out, I got asked by a lot of people because when they first came out, it was like really slidey. They couldn't lean over, things of that nature. And I just pretty much was like, I don't know if that's going to stick. And then to see the development come in, and then when the factory came in, the whole series just went. And I was like, maybe we should start thinking about this. Tried to get the second seat. Travis ended up getting it at the time because he was in road racing, Kyle's brother.
This is just a few years ago?
A few years ago, okay. Yeah, 3 short years ago. And then, I got the call for Vance and Hines to get on that program. And we started doing really well. My first couple races, I was on the podium. And then the series really started taking off, and everybody, it was like we call it, it was an arms race to build the most sophisticated bagger.
Well, and so what was that transition from jumping from dirt to then this big machine? Was it an easy transition?
Yeah, so the top 5, 6 guys all have dirt track experience on both sides. So it's crazy to see that. I truly believe the dirt track experience helps you with the bagger because they float around. We haven't got to the point where they're just absolutely on rails. There's so much torque and power, so all the time on the gas, you're really feeling the tire on the side and really trying to managing it, as well as when it gets hot because of the weight, you're really squishing the tires, and there's just a lot of like feeling and loose feeling where dirt track, having that ingrained in you and having that in your butt and knowing what actually sliding around and know what real grip is something that's, I think, helped the whole top 5, top 6.
Yeah, and so when you were coming up, all the different ventures you've had in the space, how does this fit in that spectrum? Like, this feels good, this is fun, this feels like a good fit for you? Or do you see yourself like, well, I actually excel better over here, but this is just...
I think I'm right where I need to be. Like I said, I've done a lot of racing in a lot of different series and classes and countries.
Yeah.
And at the stage of my life, 32, I feel like I'm in the best shape. Mentally, I'm like the most, I would say, seasoned. I'm very comfortable with who I am. And I think I've finally being able to show who I am as a person instead of, you come up through the ranks and you're always like, is this the right thing? Is this? And you're always chasing rides and that. And I truly feel, especially in the factory team, I can be myself.
Well, I was checking out your Instagram a little bit. You're a character, dude.
Yeah, and
you're a funny guy.
That's who I am, and I'm super professional.
Yeah.
But I like to have fun. I like to joke around, and I mean, you'll see me on the grid. It's a different person. Like there's a different person who shows up to the grid. I might joke a couple times, but it's
all business.
Yeah, I'm a super serious guy when it comes to racing.
Yeah.
But I don't. We don't need to be serious 24/7. I'm a naturally happy person. I love positivity. I like good energy, and I don't like when somebody's having a bad day.
Yeah.
That's something for me. I'm like, we can all have good days, right?
Don't be a dick.
Yeah, it's exactly.
It's simple.
And own your shit, right?
Yeah.
Just own it, man.
Well, all right. So for the casual observer, the new fan, what is it to even get into racing? Like, it's fun to talk to someone at the level you're at, but the reality is it's been a lifetime to get there. What is even the start when you're first, you don't just graduate from high school and take an aptitude test and they're like, you should race Harleys, dude.
Yeah, so...
That's not a thing.
Yeah, and to buy a Harley and just go race it might be a little steep. For me, I suggest anybody who's just starting out who has no experience on a motorcycle, get a lower end bike, Go find, like, we do on coaching, JP43 coaching. Like, go to a coach that knows and learn some technique about riding, because riding on
So
the
you're
street.
talking do like track days. You're
Yeah.
talking okay.
Yeah. So like my first thing is try to find a coach and learn the fundamentals. Like even if you were like trying to play basketball, they teach you how to dribble, walk and dribble, run and dribble. A lot of people in a lot of different fields, but in racing specifically, they go, let me get a track day bike, let me go to the and then their buddies telling them how to ride, and then the problem is that in road racing, it's so fast.
Yeah.
So if you don't learn the fundamentals, things are coming at you so fast, and it is not like riding on the street.
Yeah.
Like
I do a bunch of burnouts though. I feel pretty
totally
confident
fine with that.
in my burnouts.
Yeah. So, I mean, but it's one of those things, you just have fun, learn the techniques, and, like, make sure you have good equipment. Like, try to have good equipment that you can go and ride and learn, and then, dude, have fun. Like,
That's it.
the more people that we can have at these track days and these, club level events, the better. Especially it helps feed, no matter if you're 28 years old, 34, 40, don't be scared about showing up to a track day. I think the one thing about our sport and road racing in general, the community is so good.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like other communities. I feel like we have a total, like, mountain bike vibe where, man, you have a clip-on or you have something wrong with your bike and you go next door, like, generally that guy's going to be like, oh, let me see how I can help you.
Yeah.
Like, at this level, it's a little bit more, you should know your stuff, but even here, it's still pretty bro-y.
Yeah.
So I think don't be afraid to just show up and, like, kind of fail a little bit to get going.
Yeah.
And just ask questions. Like, everybody's super friendly.
Everybody starts somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think there's a stigma around, like, especially the Harley side.
Yeah.
Where you kind
It can be intimidating.
Definitely.
If you are just yourself starting riding to then see what you guys do, it can be super intimidating.
And if you're a sport bike guy and you come to the Harley side, you're like, I don't know, like, something I vibe, but the one thing I love about podcasts, you sit down or talk to somebody for 30 minutes, I guarantee you'll find some sort of common ground and go, dude, you know what? Like, we could probably talk.
Right.
And that's something that I feel like the stigma with a Harley is like, rah, 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 rah. But, dude, all the Harley fans.
I already removed my sleeves. Doesn't that make me like I'm in?
all the Harley fans are the most loyal, most passionate, like pumped fans ever. And
Is that a fun experience coming from, like, Europe, all these different places, that now you're in a place with fans like this, like a Harley fan? Is that a different experience?
So the Harley fan is probably the most closest fan towards, like, when I was in Europe. Like, the European fan base it's like going to a football game or something. They are so, like, that's a harsh fan. They are there, they live and breed it. If you're Josh Brooks, they love you. If you're Jane Rispoli, we hate you. It's like, it's kind of that. But you get that full.
You had a couple fans, I'm sure.
I had tons of fans.
Okay,
like,
cool.
Still, everybody on my Facebook are like, when you come back to Europe, and stuff like that. But for me, the Harley fan is that passionate, right? About the brand, about the especially this bagger series. That fan is so energized, passionate, loyal, and that's the type of fans we love. And for everybody else, we love all of them. Like, we've had some people with different manufacturer bags and stuff. Dude, you're riding a motorcycle, we love it. We need more motorcycles in America. We need to continue with that. And for me, it's like, start the kids young, get those on the Stay Six and that, and get them on bikes. Like, it's fun.
I think that's the experience I've been having with my show, is that it's not necessarily a motorcycle show. Granted, this weekend it is obviously a lot of motorcycles, but I'm always eager on buddies hopping on a bike for our first go, and, like, the new rider and finding the new fan, because being that it can be intimidating because, the danger is inherently there. It's just such a fun community to participate in, and all the wonderful activities you get to do. And then a guy like yourself, what was the experience for you when you were a kid? Did you ever think, oh, I'm going to be a factory-sponsored Harley guy? Like, what was that?
So Harley, the only time I ever thought I could be factory Harley was in dirt track, because at the time, like, it wasn't even thinking of road racing. Back in the day that was, but for me it was like, I wanted to be a world champ, and I wanted to be a factory race, be on a factory team. Timing is funny, right? At the time, there was no real factories in America. Suzuki, or it was a Suzuki or Yamaha, and then like to see the whole shift, this bagger thing come together, and then to see the passion through it, and to see what Factory Harley Davidson and the group is doing is massive. And then for myself, last year, like, it was my biggest goal to get on a factory seat, and I did everything I possibly could to get the seat. And I every single day I wake up, I'm so like humbled, fortunate. I'm given 100% for the company. I'm all in. I've been essentially with the company on the outs, but riding a Harley for 5 years. And for me, I'm fully in. I want to do more rides away from the track. I want to get on the bagger. I want to go and meet people and be at those.
You're a cartoon character, dude. I see your stuff. Yeah,
I want to be amongst that side of things. I want to take a Pan Am. I want to go on a desert and sleep in a tent and try
we'll
that.
bring up these cameras and we'll just hit the road, dude.
Dude, like, I want to do something like that. I want to enjoy the other side of things, and I think I'm at an age in my life where I can be super professional and race at a high level, but also I want to meet new people, and I want to see what the culture.
You want to live life.
I want to see what the culture's like, right? Like, we've always, as racers, been so just high performing. We go and do our work at the test track. We do our work practicing. We do this. We work out. But like, going on going to Alaska with Pan Ams is like a dream of mine. Like, and just go chilling, riding, meeting people, and just like having a good time. And I think that's something now that I feel so like confident, and I have the group around me that I could go do that, right? And it could be a cool story.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for me, being a first time, like, would be really like fun to do.
Yeah.
So that's something for me. And I think just going back onto the Harley thing, just on a track day, I think there's another stigma that they're like heavy and not nimble, and it's so not true. Like, a road glide is so nimble, it's insane. We had a couple watch the cop training, and what they do on the motorcycles is insane. And just launching the CVOST at Las Vegas, I was blown away on how nimble the bike was. They've done such a good job taking some technology from the race bike and being able to put it in there. And man, just blown away. And I'm so pumped to see like Harley like latch into racing so hard and be able to take that development. So I just think we're breaking barriers all the time.
That's it, man. Well, you're going to be out there, speaking to the masses, and pretty soon everybody's going to be hot dogging their daily out in the streets.
Hopefully.
Yeah, dragging knees on the road glide.
I don't know if I recommend that, but dude, like, they're good. Yeah. They're so good. The bikes are awesome.
So coming back to you as an individual, I was checking out some of your stuff. What is this hog on your profile picture? What is this thing?
So I've always been called James the Rocket as a kid and growing up, and that was like my nickname. My dad branded me. He was a marketeer, not a racer. So I'm a first generation rider as far as that. He did Weekend Warrior stuff, but he was never professional. And so he branded, James the Rocket come through the ranks. That's been my nickname forever. And when I got on the Harley, my last name's Rispoli. And a lot of people just kind of started putting things in, like just blank Spoley. And the guy I was racing against, actually, Corey Texter, one day, like, they always call like the Harley the Hog, right? Like riding the hog. Yeah. And so they just were like Hog Spoley.
Hog Spoley.
And then it stuck through that year. I won the championship, and then it just came across. And ever since then, we've just been branding it and pushing it. And dude, everybody just like, I've got James Rispoli, and then I've got Hog Spoley that is the racer. Like, it's like kind of like an alter ego. Like,
when you
Hog
turn it
Spoley
on.
is like the guy that you don't want to race.
Got it.
So it's kind of that little thing, and it just works, right? Hog Spoley, baby.
Hog Spoley, baby. Yeah. So with what you're doing with Harley and then this new space that is the baggers, what's the relationship with Moto America been? Is that a good reception? You're like, wow, they're really handling this well. Like, I see continued potential with this.
So I think the navigation's been very well, but I think the navigation's been like, we've been chasing it, right? The blow up of baggers has been so exponential, right? We thought, we might nose over, but a couple things. One, we're going a second faster at every single track for the last 3 years.
You were 4 behind the Superbikes here.
Exactly. So that's something. The development is insane. The racing is getting, like, it's probably the rawest racing there is in a lot of the series right now. Like, it is true raw racing at its finest. And thirdly, the credibility of like the lap times and things of that and the bikes they've built. Moto America's done a good job of being able to, one, balance the two manufacturers so that we have amazing racing, right? Because if we lose that rivalry, what's the point, right? So it's really good we're going head to head, and it's what we need. We need a true rivalry. Second thing is that they've done an amazing job of promoting the series. Baggers, I think, are second to Superbike. If not, they're encroaching on Superbike. And I think they're finally, not Moto America, but the series is finally accepting, hey, baggers can lift road racing in America in general and can really lift the sport.
Yeah.
And the amount of, resources, the activations Harley's bringing, the people,
support, yeah, is incredible.
right, is huge. And then thirdly, like, the collaboration with Dorna and Moto America to bring that COTA event to be at the highest form of motorcycle racing, baggers to be the support race, and to have two amazing racing. Like, we had two of the best races, has lifted the series even more. I've got so many text messages from Europeans, all my friends in Europe, like, dude, where can we watch this weekend? Like, how can we watch it? So we need to do a little better job getting it to Europe to where they can watch it, even if we have to, take that trial run and go, hey, we're going to set it up for a European viewing party to see what the mass is before we have them start paying or something. But there's eyeballs. Everybody at MotoGP loved it. We had the first time a touring group and the sport group come together as fans and mingle.
Yeah.
And I think it was a huge success. So I think Moto America is doing a phenomenal job. I think we can continue to grow, and I think we need to latch on and continue to promote the series and build superstars bigger than the sport.
Well, then, what is that? I mean, you're obviously getting texts and stuff like that, but like, Europe already has its motorcycle fans. They've been in it and loving it forever. Are the waves that are being created over there specific to baggers? Are people just like, what the fuck?
No, well, what the fuck is for sure happening all over the world, and I think MotoGP was blown away. We had Factory Ducati, Factory Aprilia, we had Trackhouse guys, KTM guys, all the technical guys, the directors, the engineers, all coming over at the Harley going, you go, this is a race bike.
Yeah.
And we're like, I know, we tried to tell you, we're like, no, but like, this is a race bike. This thing is crazy.
Yeah.
And all the GP guys were on the wall when we were racing. They were all out there. And so it's making waves in Europe for sure. And it's like, I don't want to use this example, but it's like NASCAR. Like, this is truly an American class. You know what I mean? You got two American iconic brands going head to head, in America. So I think the European vibe, having the stars and stripes behind it, I think everybody really is getting behind because, dude, at the end of the day, like, America's number one country. So like everybody looks to that and they go, wow, this is wild like NASCAR, but dude, this has got some serious skill, like cool and it's wild racing and we love it. So I think Europeans are like fully on board.
Well, so then coming back to America, what is it to get these new American race fans into motorcycles? Like, obviously baggers is a big move, things like that. Are we going to be getting like our t-shirt guns out here at the races? Like, what is that NASCAR infield going to be turning into for motorcycles? How can we get these eyeballs?
Yeah, so the biggest thing is one is getting the people off the street here. We have, still such a massive slice of the pie is, touring riders, right? That's more America than, the sport bike riders, right? That industry is huge. Getting those touring riders into the track to do it, and baggers has been the anchor for that. And then the initiatives with all the dealers, like we've got watch parties now at pretty much every dealership or a lot of them. We're getting so many texts and reaching out that they're supporting and having these watch parties like Europeans do, right?
Yeah.
That they have like the coffee shops and whatnot, and we're doing these initiatives where we're going in beforehand and really doing activations at these dealerships and getting them to bubble it out to their riders and to their clients to be able to do rides from the dealerships to the track.
Yeah, and you got
and
people
these
camping here.
Dude, these VIP passes and I think we had 2 waves of the parade.
Mm-hmm.
That's unheard of, and they were all Harleys. Do you know what I mean?
So
Like,
for those
dude,
not in the know, the parade,
they get a lap around.
You get a hop on the track, whatever you show up on, and you get to ride it. And so if you're on your Dyna, if you're on your Street Glide, your Road Glide, get out here, load up the side cases with whatever you want, and then hit the road. Like, that's incredible that you get to do that.
Yeah, and that's with the Harley VIP pass. And then you get, like, access to us. We get to see you. And, that whole thing. And, like, I just think it's more of, like, we're seeing, like, the guerrilla marketing, I call, like, the hand-to-hand starting to really bubble out, And we're seeing a lot of things with just people in general starting to understand the bagger class as a whole. And, I mean, the fans we have come by, they're like, this is my first race, and I'm here for the baggers. Mm-hmm. Like, that, there's a reason why they put us last.
Yeah.
To keep everybody here, So, we need Superbike because we need Superbikes in America. We need to have those feeder things, but we need the American class.
Yeah. That's great, man. I'm super happy to have you on, and I'm grateful, Jeffrey, your participation too, because I'm excited to continue bringing the culture out to my community, and then seeing where it goes from there. Meeting fine folks as yourself, it sure is a hoot. How many tortillas would you say you eat on a daily? Just like,
dude, the tortilla thing is just tough, man. Like, Mission Foods is so good. They send us so many tortillas. Like, there needs to be, like, a bartender just cut me off for tortilla, like a tortilla.
You've had too many,
dude. My favorite is the Hawaiian, of course, and then I do the no carb or the low carb one.
I can tell. I can tell.
I'm working on my figure, trying to, even though we've got a lot of horsepower and a ton of torque, I still just trying to be that lean, load.
That's why Tyler O'Hara had the runs. He was trying to stay loose, stay light. Shaving pounds.
Yeah. So, but no, man, I'm stoked. This whole podcast setup is awesome. We do a podcast ourselves. Me and my buddy Corey Alexander. He races. And to be on this show and to see this is awesome. Like, to come and, like, because we do a remote show, but now I'm like, man, we're really underdoing it.
Hey,
like, this is
I appreciate that.
Like,
huh?
Dude, I love it.
That's my first helmet I ever had. I did Route 66 on my my Sportster 48. That was a thing I did a documentary.
I love it.
These are all books that I've consumed, and so it's kind of the expression of me. This turf is, all this shit's from my basement. And so they called and said, hey, you want to come out to Moto America? I said, yeah. Thanks, Costco.
I love it, dude. And what you need is to have a little espresso. You know what I mean? That's what we need. We could have a little, little taster.
I got a guy that's actually outside right now, just came to the track. He wants to watch the races, brought his girls and stuff like that, and he helped me put this podcast together over the strike. And he had an espresso machine on our first set because he's a fancy gentleman.
Me, I'm the same, dude.
Hey,
I would be.
He agrees with you.
You know, but it probably is short out everything you have here.
Yeah, somebody was trying to run a blower and it killed my AC, which mattered yesterday.
Yeah. So. No, today it's a little cold. It's, for people who don't know, it's a little.
It's raining. It's a nice pitter patter on the roof, but our fine DJIs aren't picking it up.
No, it's all right. I feel like we're camping a little bit.
It's a good vibe, right?
Yeah, I like it.
Well, I'm happy to have you here, and this is the time of the show that you get to talk to this camera, that camera, about anything specific that is relevant to you that you want to share with the masses.
I'm Ron Burgundy. No, I'm joking. No, seriously, like, everybody that listens to this show, we're so pumped. Everybody who rides motorcycles, no matter what it is, we're pumped. Don't be afraid. Like, if you ever see me, come up to me. If you have any questions, reach out on social media. like, please be active, engaged. Do not feel like there's any sort of wall. And like, we have a stigma because we're so focused and we're at the top of our game. But seriously, like, all the riders, we want more fans. We want the sport to grow, and we want more motorcycles and more people riding, because anybody that rides a motorcycle, you get free, right? There's nothing like riding a motorcycle and feeling the wind, the sun,
Knees
and
in
all
the breeze,
that.
baby.
Exactly, and the more people we can have, the better. And dude, I'm super pumped to be on here. I'm so pumped to meet you. And
Yeah, absolutely.
next time I'm coming on with a tank.
Hey.
I'm coming on with a tank, and I'm gonna show some guns.
Yeah, well, I hope that this is a great format for you, because these are real conversations with real people, and in the same vein, I want people to be able to approach you. Like, racers are so intimidating because you guys are so good at what you do, but you guys are real humans, and so
Dude,
I think you're
after
expressing
the races, we like to have a beer too. Like,
Yeah.
we're humans, we do a lot of training and things but trust me, like, after Coda, 2 big races. I mean, dude, the boys want to like have a good time and just relax and be able to enjoy it. And man, like, it's we love this sport so much, and we're so passionate, and we just need more people.
Right on, man. Well, I think
Cool.
you're gonna get them. So thanks for sharing today,
Awesome.
and good luck out there.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's it.